guys, welcome to my channel. My name is ReadingBear and I hope you are ready for some more stories. And today, we'll take a look at some new entitled people content. If you enjoyed my content, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and post some bear emojis in the comment. And now, let's dive right into the stories.
The first story is titled "You Have to Give It for Free." You know my son isn't normal. So, for context, I used to be a teacher at an English school here in Brazil. Most of my students were young kids, and usually the other teachers would send me the kids who had some difficulties in learning. That was probably because I would do little games and different activities that often motivated them during the class. Most teachers wouldn't do things like that because we were only paid for the time we spend doing school things, so I kinda worked extra for free. But I didn't care as long the kids were happy. Well, then there was this kid that the other teacher said was a nightmare. I related to him really quickly and it was quite clear to me that he had ADHD, and so do I, so it wasn't hard to find a way to make him interested in my classes. But the fun didn't last long. His mom called me one day and it went. Annoying mom. Hey darling, how are you? Me. I'm fine. What about you? Is there anything I can help you with? Oh, I'm glad you asked. My son is enjoying your classes very much. He told me you play games with him and such. Me. I'm really happy to hear that. I find games a better way to learn. He said the same, ha ha ha. So I came to talk to you about something. I already contacted the school and they said it was a great idea. So, I would like for you to spend some time with my son and play a lot of educational games with him. Me. So you want me to him extra English classes? My schedule is quite busy these days. I'm not sure if I can do it. But there are a bunch of other teacher at the school. Hey, don't worry about it. I'll contact the school and you won't need to teach any other kid, so you can focus on my son and teach him everything he needs to know for school. Me. Do you want me to teach him every school subject? Yes? You're his private teacher. Me. I'm only qualified to teach English for beginners. I can't teach anything else. And I want to keep my classes. But he can only learn with you. He needs you. Me. Fine. I can try give him a few classes but I'll charge the same amount as I would get at the school, since I'm letting to do that job in Orther to work for you. Charge? Me. Yes? I didn't know I had to pay you. I already pay the school. I don't need to pay you. Me. I'm an employee at an English school. You pay them for English classes. But you said you're not qualified. It doesn't make sense to pay you. Me. If you want someone qualified, there are a bunch of private teachers out there who can do amazing jobs, especially with kids that can't learn easily. But their prices are too high. You're being petty. You know it's difficult not being normal. Me. You shouldn't use those words. Your kid is really smart. He just need a little bit more motivation. You can do that yourself if you try. Are calling me a bad mom? You know what, I'll get your ass fired of that school. Well, she did try and my boss told me to the job even I wasn't getting paid because the mom was popular or something, and it would be a bad thing if she talked trash about the school. I left that job after 2 weeks because they would do anything to keep the students. And I was underpaid. The next story is titled Bridezilla? Nope, just a beggar. So an acquaintance is getting married and sent their wedding website, registry. Now this person wants an over-the-top, for her lifestyle, kind of wedding. Only the partner works, yet the cost of the wedding is about $30K right now. How do I know this? Their registry only has cash funds for every single vendor plus a regular cash fund and honeymoon fund. They said absolutely no gifts, only contributions to the funds. Everything from the videographer, to the wedding dress, and even money, petty costs are on there. Another acquaintance recently got married in a small ceremony and all the person did was talk about how trashy it was, but at least they stayed within their budget. Supposed to be a guest count of 125, so I guess they expect everyone to contribute at least $250. Mind you, this is all a group of younger people that haven't even finished college yet or have kids. Even crazier, the partner pays for everything. All living expenses. All deposits have been the partner's money because the bride refuses to work at least part-time, even when asked by partner. They're a commission-based employee too, so funds fluctuate month to month. They literally just bought bride a car, but cut them off from running up the credit card debt. Now we can say, oh well, it's what partner wants to do because they love bride, but previous conversations have been, can you work part-time to help? No, what's wrong with the car you have now? I want something else. Why can't we go to the courthouse? I want my dream wedding. Side note: an acquaintance to me is someone I talk to rarely, and they usually only contact me to complain or trauma dump, which this person does. I consider friends people I talk to regularly and am close with. The next story is titled Karen Thinks She Owns the Road. Backstory. I live in an 155-year-old house. Originally all the land around it was part of the property, but over the years the land was divided up and given to the past owner's friends to build homes. The main public road ends at an old abandoned house from like the 70s. Directly to the right of it is an easement that lets you get to my house and 2 other houses next door. The abandoned house has been abandoned for decades. Roof has collapsed, walls falling down, everything a total mess. Recently a large tree fell down over the driveway like an arch, kind of covering up that mess, which was nice. There is a boat in the driveway, so we all call it the boathouse. Story. I had almost gotten home after driving almost 40 minutes from work, tired and ready to take a break with my fur babies. I pulled down the road only to find some unfamiliar red car parked at the end of the road blocking the easement to my house. A woman was just standing there smoking a cigarette and looking at the boathouse. I pull up so she can see me. I expected her to notice me, get in her car and pull forward out of my way so I could pass. Nope. Instead she flicks her ash on the ground and approaches my car. I really didn't want to talk to her, but I thought maybe she was lost and wanted directions or something. I roll down my window and before I can even give her a hello, she hits me with, "Karen, what are you doing?" Me. Huh? Karen. This is my property. You need to leave. I wanted to point out to her that this was a public road, no one owns it, but I am too nice of a person and hate confrontation. Me. You do know that there are 3 other houses down that side road, right? I mean, this was her property, right? She should know at least that much. And don't worry lady, no one wants to touch your crappy safety hazard of a house that junkies shoot up in. She just looked at me for a moment and I was confused as to what she was waiting for. Then, without apology, she turned and moved her car forward, barely enough for me to get past. I parked and looked back down the road to see she pulled back and was once again blocking our little easement. I told my boyfriend about her and he wanted to go confront her to see if she really was the owner of the boathouse, since we have been trying to figure out who owns it now. All we know is that it was sold in a tax auction after the previous owner failed to pay any property tax on it for years, but she had left by the time he managed to get off the phone with work. Here's to hoping she cleans up that house of horror so that our own property value increases, and here's also hoping she sells it and won't be our new neighbor. The next story is titled, I'm gonna go grab a juice. I went to the grocery store the other day to grab a couple things for my kid. Literally a couple, some yogurt and crackers. As I'm walking through the store to the register, a chick comes up to me and says, "Nice shirt." I was like, "Thanks." Also thinking to myself how strange that was. The first time anyone has ever commented on my clothing at a grocery store. Lo and behold, about 10 seconds later she approaches me again, and says, Hi, excuse me, I was wondering if you can help me? I am 8 weeks pregnant and I haven't eaten in a few days. I am just so hungry. Any way you could get me something, like some PB&J stuff, it'll only be a few dollars. I never do this kind of stuff, but I was so caught off guard, so I said, okay, just grab it quickly cuz I'm about to check out. We were actually in that aisle, standing right in front of the stuff. I put my things on the belt, turned to her so she can put hers on, and she says, "I'm gonna run and go get a juice real quick, I'll be fast." You just ambushed me at the grocery store and got me to buy you about $10 worth of stuff, not a few dollar, hello inflation, and you're gonna go get a juice real quick. Exclamation mark. I was so stunned I stared at her for a few seconds, and then flatly just said, "No." She sort of rolled her eyes at me. The checkout lady already began scanning the stuff, but I was so freaking mad and felt like a total fool for saying yes and completely taken advantage of. To top the whole thing off, when we got outside I took her things out of my bag and gave them to her, and she made that exaggerated gesture as she took them and said, "Oh wow. Okay. Well, I hope I don't drop them. I guess I'll go get a bag to put these in." No thanking me, nothing. I just said good luck and left. No more charity from me, choosing ass beggars. The next story is titled Fun Times Being a Temporary Receptionist. Before I got promoted at my work, I was a temporary receptionist and most of my time was spent answering questions for people or transferring them to someone else in our office building. But every once in a while I'd get a person in financial need or looking for a little bit of support. I had a sheet of paper for these folks, and on that sheet of paper were numbers for places like Mercy's Gate, places that help other people in need. I must note that my work itself is not a charity, but we help out every once in a while. But we mostly send people over to Mercy's Gate because we partner with them. But one day, I got a call from this woman who said she was in need but didn't want to accept any of the help that I offered her. The conversation went like this. RW equals random women. Me. Hello. This is, name, with, company name. How may I help you? RW. Yeah, hello. My name is, RW, and I heard I could call you guys if I need a little bit of help? Me. What kind of help are you looking for? RW. I just need some help financially. I'm about to lose my home and I just need some help. Me. I'm very sorry to hear that, RW. But yes, I can help you out a little bit. I can give you Mercy's Gate number, and they should also be able to help support you a little bit. RW. I was actually hoping that you could help me. Me. I'm sorry ma'am, but we ourselves don't usually help that often, as we don't often have supplies and the funds to do so, which is why we partner with other organizations that provide help. RW. But can't you just help me? Me. I'm sorry ma'am, but as I explained before, we unfortunately can't help everybody, which is why we partner with organizations whose purpose is to help other people in need. RW. So basically you don't give a crap that I'm about to be homeless and you'd let me be homeless? Me. Ma'am, I'm trying to refer you to Mercy's Gate so you don't become homeless. I'm trying my best to help you. RW. I already told you that I don't ducking want Mercy's Gate. I want you guys to help me. Me. Getting a little frustrated. I'm sorry ma'am. But Mercy's Gate will honestly be able to help you a lot more than we can. RW. But I don't ducking want Mercy's Gate. Me. Ma'am, if you don't mind me asking. Why don't you want Mercy's Gate? Me trying to understand. RW. I don't want some cheap at dollar ducking food for poor ducking people. Me. Ma'am, if I do recall. You are struggling financially. Mercy's Gate will help make sure that you get food in your belly. I don't know your employment statutes because it's none of my business, but perhaps Mercy's Gate will support you long enough so that you can get into a better financial state? RW. Big sigh. I'm done ducking talking to you. Can I talk to someone who actually knows what she's talking about and who actually cares that I'm about to go homeless? Me. Kinda confused and kinda irritated. Sure. I transferred her over to one of the other staff members who is in direct contact with Mercy's Gate and often works side by side with them. They basically told this woman the same thing and referred her to Mercy's Gate. About a week later, the same woman actually shows up to our workplace and puts on a big scene and talks about how she's going to report us for breaking COVID restrictions, when we weren't, and yada yada. I don't know what ended up happening to the girl, but all I know is that my workplace kept referring her to Mercy's Gate. The next story is titled Sister Demands for Payment even though she gets near $500 without working per month and steals our mom. I know the title may sounds kinda weird, but let me explain it to you. In my family we are 4 members at the moment. My big brother, who works as an animator and is a little older than 25 years old and is moving out in a few days. Myself, who is in less than 20-year-old who is not working but studying, my mom, who works by herself doing overalls for kindergarten teachers and children, and finally, my sister who is almost in her 30s and is working with my mom and is studying fashion and how to make clothes. With this little introduction, let's begin. My sister at the age of 19 started studying as an accountant and went with it for at least 6 years in a free college where my mom would have to buy her books and give her some money for taking the bus to the college. When she was near 25 years old, she one day randomly said, "I don't want to study this anymore," and just stopped going and keep going to that college. She was in less than a year of ending the career and getting a degree. After that, she begged to my mom about paying her for this new career that at that moment was costing at least $207 a month. My mom at that moment was earning near $1,000 a month. My mom, somehow agreed. When I became 17, I finished high school and I was able to choose a college. I picked one that was $100 with all included. Materials, uniform, and it would even give me a chance to work in some foreign countries. After 2 months my mom asked to have a chat with me and told me, "We are going through a rough time with money, and I decided that I'm not going to pay for your college anymore." I was devastated and angry. But I understood, if she didn't had the money there was nothing I could do about it. Except work, but in my country it's kinda hard to find a job as a minor, plus I have scoliosis, so I'm kinda ducked in that, but my mom kept paying my sister college. When I find that out I got pissed and there was this huge argument in my house because if there was no money how they were paying my sister college, who at that moment was 25 to 26. Like the duck? And I forgot to mention that she needed to pay other things and not only college. Models, someone who would take photos of her clothing, people who would sew her clothes, etc., etc. And it would ended up in like $500 sometimes. My sister was working with my mom and that's why they were okay with paying her college, but she wouldn't attend phone calls, or even would work 1 hour a day with my mom. Meanwhile she was not doing almost anything since she would pay people to do her duties in college and not work. I had to not go to college for a whole year. Fast forward to this year. Now I'm finally able to go to college because my dad is paying for it. Meanwhile my mom it's still paying for my sister's everything. A few months ago I saw my mom crying and asked what happened. Then she explained to me that she lost near $1,000 USD and can't understand how. She explained that she has 2 bank accounts, the personal one and her works one. This second one is where all the work money goes when people pay for her stuff, and then she realized there is only one other person who knows that account details. My sister. At that moment my sister was not in home. So my mom went to her room and found $300 in cash. And it was ducking suspicious since my mom never gave her that money. When she confronted my sister about it she said something like, "Oh, yeah. My boyfriend gifted that to me. Haha," and my mom was so devastated that just went, "Okay," and did not wanted to argue, kicked her out. My sister now is saying to my mom that she wants her payment for all these years that she didn't get money. She didn't get the money because it went for her college and all the crap she was paying for. Now, today it happened again. My sister has mysterious boxes that costs near $10 each. Near 10 boxes and no real job, and she keeps asking my mom for money because she doesn't get paid. I skipped some details but I would be more than glad to answer some questions. Also, I think the main problem is that she is almost in her 30s and is not actually working and it's still getting everything paid, plus it's ungrateful ASF, and let's not forget that it seems like she is stealing from our own mother. The next story is titled Lady Rips Off 2 Kids Shoveling Snow. This was a long time ago as a preteen looking to make a couple extra bucks after a snowstorm. Friend and I are going door to door in over a foot of snow asking if people want their sidewalks cleared for $10, $15 if they wanted to include a parking space, and $20 if they wanted their driveway done too. My friend and I pass a middle-aged woman trying and failing to clear out her parking space in a fairly sized side lot, could fit about 8 cars, so we tell her our offer and she says sure, but that she wants the double driveway for her neighbor scraped too, as well as the sidewalks in front of both houses and the parking lot. We agreed. Sidewalk for the parking lot and the houses, parking space, and double driveway for $30. We're there for well over 3 hours as she paces, telling us where the snow needs to go, what she wants us to do first, coming in and out of the house when needed to warm up. After we finish we knock on the door, she looks, and immediately starts rattling that we didn't finish the whole parking lot. This lady was not happy. We explained we had a deal and she shoots us down. No, the deal was you shovel the whole lot. What am I going to do with only one spot? In the end we just backed off, explained that we have other houses we promised to get to, a lie, and she renegotiated, as in she gave us $15 and sent us on our way. To this day I hold a grudge against that lady. We were pretty good at what we were doing. I remember our agreement, and most people would send us with more than asked or give us hot cocoa, let us take breaks, something. But nah, this lady saw 2 11-year-old girls and went, today's the day. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to the channel and post some bear emojis in the comments.